Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS. Let's get to the news. All right, Falcons fans, strap in because what's brewing in the NFL right now could have some serious implications for our team. There's a buzz floating around from insiders and NFL analysts alike, pointing to a potential blockbuster trade that might just reshape our secondary and give us that extra edge we need to contend at a higher level. And no, I'm not talking about some minor move here. We're talking about L'Jarius Sneed, a top-tier cornerback currently with the Tennessee Titans, possibly heading our way. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. The Titans? Why would they trade away a proven playmaker like Sneed? Well, things are complicated in Tennessee. With a 4-10 record this season and a team in full rebuild mode, especially with rookie quarterback Will Levis struggling to turn things around, the Titans are looking for ways to cut costs and build for the future. Their cap situation isn't ideal either. They're eyeing around $22 million for defensive upgrades, but their current focus has been more on clearing cap space than competing this year. Meanwhile, the Falcons are in a different spot. We're sitting pretty with about $25 million in cap space, ready to make moves that can elevate this team into real playoff contention. And if the trade rumors are true, bringing in Sneed could be exactly what we need to bolster our secondary, which has been solid but not quite enough against the league's top passing attacks. Think about this, adding Sneed alongside A.J. Terrell, who's been playing at an elite level with 4 interceptions in 2025 and a PFF coverage grade of 87. One could turn our defensive backfield into one of the best in the league. Sneed is a lockdown corner known for his ability to limit completions, only 44% against him in man coverage and allowing just 0.6 yards of separation per target. That's some shutdown stuff right there. And it's not just about coverage. Sneed is a playmaker. Over his career, he snagged 20 interceptions in 85 games, and in 2025, he's already racked up 7 picks with 21 pass breakups and a PFF grade of 92. 7 top 3 among cornerbacks. To put it simply, he's a game changer. His stats show he's not just good at shutting down receivers. He's also a threat to pick off the ball and turn defense into offense. His ability to force turnovers is a huge boost for any secondary, and in Atlanta, that could translate to more wins, more takeaways, and a real shot at elevating our overall team performance. Now, let's talk about what this move could mean for our defense and the Falcons' overall outlook. Sneed's addition would pair perfectly with Jesse Bates' III in the back end, creating a tandem that's reminiscent of the dominant Falcons' defenses from the 2010s, which consistently ranked among the best in the league. With Bates, who's been exceptional with a PFF grade of 95, our secondary could become a true lockdown unit. The impact on our pass defense efficiency would be noticeable, an increase of about 19% in overall pass defense efficiency, according to projections. And that's not just on paper. When you look at Sneed's ability to cover top receivers and force turnovers, it's easy to see how he could help us turn games around. Imagine a scenario where our team's red zone defense improves dramatically, dropping from a 92.4 rating to around 74.6, while our turnover rate jumps significantly. That would mean more opportunities to score, fewer points allowed, and a team that's playing with confidence and swagger. The potential for Sneed to be a difference maker in critical moments is huge, especially against divisional rivals and playoff contenders. And here's the kicker. This isn't just about improving the defense for this season. It's about setting a foundation for sustained success. The addition of a player like Sneed, with his ability to prevent big plays, allowing only 3 yards after catch on average and limiting deep passes, could be the X factor that turns a good team into a playoff-caliber contender. His presence would also serve as a boost to our team's morale and confidence, knowing we've got a cornerback capable of locking down some of the best receivers in the league. Now, let's not forget the bigger picture. The Falcons, with around $25 million in cap space, are in a position to absorb some of the financial impact of this move. If the trade goes through, it would likely involve a third-round pick, which is a reasonable price for a player of Sneed's caliber. It's a move that could accelerate our rebuild and push us closer to the playoffs, something every Falcons fan has been dreaming about since the end of last season. We've seen teams like the Chiefs elevate their defenses with key acquisitions, and Snead was a big part of their success last year, adding plus 200 yards prevented and reducing deep pass completions by about 31%. His ability to shut down deep threats and keep the ball in front of him is exactly what our secondary needs. And speaking of the Chiefs, Snead's previous success under the Kansas City system, where he contributed to a defense that was among the league's best, shows he's capable of making a seamless transition to a new team. His performance in 2025 with 7 interceptions and a PFF grade of 92.7 proves he's still in his prime and ready to make an immediate impact. His ability to cover, make plays on the ball, and contribute to a team's overall defensive efficiency makes him a prime target for our coaching staff to consider. Of course, there are some questions. Will the Titans be willing to part ways with Snead? Can the Falcons close the deal quickly enough to make an impact this season? And how will this move fit into Arthur Smith's overall game plan? But if history tells us anything, Atlanta has been aggressive when it comes to making moves that can propel us into the postseason. Think about the Jalen Ramsey trade back in 2019, an acquisition that immediately elevated the Rams' defense and helped them reach the Super Bowl. If we can land Snead for a third-round pick, it could be just as impactful, if not more. In terms of what it means for our upcoming schedule, a shutdown corner like Snead could be the difference in tight games, especially against high-powered offenses like Tampa Bay's or New Orleans. His presence on the field would allow us to double-team other threats, knowing we have a reliable guy on the outside who can lock down receivers and force turnovers. It's about building a defense that's versatile and aggressive, one that can adapt and dominate in key moments. Looking ahead, the Falcons are positioned to make some serious noise if this move happens. Our offense, led by Desmond Ridder, has shown flashes of potential, but it's the defense that needs that extra spark, that game-changing player who can turn the tide in our favor. Snead, with his track record of intercepting passes and disrupting routes, could be that spark. Plus, with the NFL's passing game evolving and offenses becoming more innovative, having a cornerback who can lock down top receivers and make big plays is a must. We've seen how a single player can shift the momentum. Think of the impact Jalen Ramsey had during his prime, or how Patrick Mahomes elevates the Chiefs' offense. Snead could be that kind of difference maker for us. So Falcons fans, this potential move is more than just a rumor. It's a strategic play, one that could accelerate our rebuild, strengthen our secondary, and give us a real shot at climbing the NFC South standings and making a deep playoff push. We've got the cap space, the draft assets, and the motivation to make this happen. If we bring Snead into our fold, I believe it sends a clear message to the rest of the league. The Atlanta Falcons are here to contend, and we're not backing down. Remember, the NFL is a league of adjustments, and sometimes the biggest moves come from bold decisions like this. If we can get Snead, it would be a statement move, one that says we're serious about winning now, not just rebuilding for the future. And with a secondary that already includes Jesse Bates, adding a player of Snead's caliber makes our defense a nightmare for offenses. It's about creating a unit that's disciplined, aggressive, and capable of forcing turnovers. Exactly the ingredients we need to turn our season around and secure that playoff spot we're all dreaming of. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. We're in this together, and I believe bigger things are on the horizon. Let's keep the passion alive and continue supporting our team through thick and thin. Go Falcons!